Ever wonder what Formula One drivers and saunas have in common? Or how a fake skull fooled the world's smartest scientists for over 40 years? Welcome to the channel. Today we will take a journey through the bizarre, the unbelievable, and the oddly true. From medieval streets literally named after human waste, to Mount Everest growing every single year, these facts are sure to surprise you. So, listen up. Here are 30 mind-blowing facts that you probably didn't know. Fact 1. Earth's heartbeat. The Earth has a heartbeat every 26 seconds. For decades, scientists have detected a repeating seismic pulse every 26 seconds, sometimes called Earth's heartbeat. It's a microseism, a very low-frequency seismic wave that doesn't come from earthquakes but instead from natural continuous sources. It appears to originate from the Gulf of Guinea, off the coast of West Africa. The signal is incredibly regular, repeating every 26 seconds like clockwork. However, the exact cause is still not fully understood, making it a continuing subject of research. Fact 2. Rob's favor. Rob Lowe was uncredited in Tommy Boy, released in 1995, despite having a major speaking role because at the time, he was contractually obligated to a miniseries of The Stand. Instead of going through legal hoops to get out of it, he essentially agreed to be in the film as a favor to his friend Chris Farley. Fact 3. Parliament snuff. In the United Kingdom's Parliament, there is a box of snuff, which is smokeless tobacco, that's been around since the late 17th century. It was available for members of Parliament to use freely, but fell out of use in the 80s. The snuff box is traditionally kept near the Sergeant-at-Arms chair inside the chamber. The box itself is maintained as a historical artifact, even though snuff-taking has all but disappeared. Fact 4. Great Daylight Fireball. In 1972, a meteor grazed the Earth's atmosphere. This event, known as the Great Daylight Fireball, caused changes to the meteor's trajectory and mass. Scientists predicted the meteor would come back to Earth in 1997, but it never did, so the object's trajectory and position remain unknown. Fact 5. The C-band, also known as Haijin. In the 1400s, China, after building the world's most advanced navy, turned inward under a form of Chinese isolationism called Haijin, or C-band. Fearing foreign influence, leaders banned private trade, large ships, and dismantled the fleet, missing centuries of growth. Fact 6. Fashionably late. Elizabeth Taylor was deliberately late to her own funeral. When Elizabeth Taylor passed away in 2011, her family honored her final wish, that she arrive fashionably late to her own funeral. The service began 15 minutes late in accordance with her instructions. Elizabeth Taylor was known for her dramatic flair, impeccable timing, and love of glamour. Being fashionably late was part of her persona, and she wanted to carry that spirit through to the very end. Fact 7. Babysitting gorillas. A 2018 study found that male gorillas who participated the most in babysitting duties sired more than 5 times the offspring as male gorillas who avoided childcare. Male gorillas are often quite snuggly, letting infant and juvenile gorillas cuddle, play, and just hang out in their nests. Fact 8. Peppergate. In 2023, the seed companies got their pepper seeds mixed up, and people across the USA grew different peppers than intended. The mix-up is referred to as Peppergate. Many individuals who purchased and cultivated pepper seeds discovered that the plants produced peppers different from what was labeled. For instance, some expecting jalapenos ended up with banana peppers, or other varieties. The root cause was traced back to a mislabeling incident involving a major seed supplier. Fact 9. Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill, who wrote Think and Grow Rich, was a lifelong scammer. He lied about meeting Andrew Carnegie, never advised any presidents, and was even linked to a New York-based cult that tried to raise an immortal baby. Napoleon Hill's career appears to have been built on fabricated stories, fraudulent activities, and continuous self-reinvention, casting significant doubt on the legitimacy of his claims and contributions. Fact 10. Temporary Tower. The Eiffel Tower was supposed to be a temporary gimmick. It was originally built as the entrance arch to the 1889 Exposition Universelle, or World's Fair, held in Paris to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the French Revolution. It was intended to be a temporary structure, and the permit for it only covered 20 years. Many Parisians originally disliked it, considering it an eyesore. Its sparkling lights were also meant to be a temporary gimmick for the Millennium celebrations in 1999 to 2000. The lights became so popular that they were made a permanent feature, lighting up the tower for 5 minutes every hour after sunset. Fact 11. Oscar for sale. Oscar winners are forbidden from selling or disposing of their trophies without first offering it to the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences for $1. Since 1950, the Academy has required Oscar winners and their heirs to sign an agreement that states they cannot sell, auction, or otherwise dispose of their Oscar statuette without first offering it back to the Academy for $1. If a winner or heir refuses, the Academy can legally prevent the sale. This rule was created to preserve the prestige of the award and prevent commercialization. However, Oscars awarded before 1950 are not subject to this rule, which is why you sometimes see them pop up in auctions. Fact 12. Bass 90. The Swedish Air Force built roads called Bass 60 and later Bass 90 to serve as emergency airfields in case of a war, even putting aprons at the ends of the backup runways. Sweden maintained neutrality during the Cold War but remained highly prepared for potential conflict, especially with nearby Soviet forces. Fact 13. Trapped but aware. A boy was trapped in his own body for 12 years. At age 12, Martin Pistorius fell mysteriously ill, losing his ability to move, speak, or make eye contact. He was believed to be in a vegetative state, unresponsive and unaware, and remained that way for several years. Around age 14, Martin regained consciousness, but he couldn't move or speak to let anyone know. He was fully aware of everything happening around him, but remained trapped in his body for about 12 years. Eventually, a caregiver noticed signs of awareness, and with the help of assistive technology, he began to communicate again in his mid-20s. Martin later wrote a memoir titled Ghost Boy, where he details his experience of being conscious but paralyzed. Fact 14. Least common birthdays. December 25th, Christmas Day, is consistently ranked as one of the least common birthdays in the United States and several other countries. I would have guessed February 29th. In fact, the top 10 least common birthdays all fall on holidays. This occurs because fewer scheduled births, like inductions and C-sections, are planned for major holidays. Also, people often avoid giving birth on holidays if they can help it, either for personal reasons or due to hospital scheduling. Fact 15. Ironic Army reformed. While Secretary of War in the Pierce administration, Jefferson Davis revolutionized the United States Army. He increased its size, and troops were given better equipment, better training, and increased pay. Ironically, just 4 years later, in 1861, Jefferson Davis would become the President of the Confederate States of America and lead a rebellion against the very army he had helped modernize and strengthen. Fact 16. April's Fool Day prank. On April 1, 1980, the BBC's overseas service, BBC World Service, announced as an April Fool's Day prank that Big Ben's clock face was going to be replaced with a digital display. The idea was that it was a modernization effort. The hoax generated a huge reaction, with many listeners, especially traditionalists, expressing outrage. Some even called in to protest the loss of a historic national symbol. Fact 17. Good investment. Eva Longoria spent $6 million saving a film after her agent told her it was the right call. She now says it's the best money she ever spent. That film? It was John Wick. The investment proved highly profitable. Longoria has more than doubled her initial contribution and continues to receive returns from the original film. She has expressed some regret about not being involved in the sequels, noting that her only mistake was not being attached to all of the films. Fact 18. Mount Tambora. The 1815 eruption of Mount Tambora was the most powerful eruption in human history. The eruptions caused the year without a summer in 1816. Global temperatures dropped, and Europe and North America experienced snow in June and widespread crop failures. The eruption was 4 to 10 times more powerful than the 1883 eruption of Krakatoa. Fact 19. Oil of LA. Los Angeles is actually an active oil pumping field. Oil was discovered in the area in the late 1800s, and by the 1920s, Los Angeles was one of the most productive oil regions in the world. At its peak in the 1920s, Southern California oil fields produced about 25% of the world's oil. There are still hundreds of active oil wells operating in LA today. in neighborhoods, near schools, and even behind shopping centers. Many are hidden inside buildings or camouflaged. Some look like office buildings or plain white boxes, but they're really oil derricks inside. Fact 20. Egyptian rule. Egypt lost native independent control in 343 BC and was ruled by foreign powers until 1952. In 1952, the Egyptian Revolution led by the Free Officers Movement overthrew the monarchy, King Farouk. This established the Republic of Egypt in 1953, ending centuries of foreign-dominated governance. Fact 21. More valuable than gold. When aluminum was first discovered in the early 1800s, it was worth more than gold. Originally, it was hard to separate from other materials. The Washington Monument was capped with it. When a reliable method was finally found to purify it, prices plummeted from $16, which is about $419 today, a pound, to just $2. Fact 22. Weird mating ritual. The Pigeon Mountain salamander, a species native to Georgia, USA, engages in a rather aggressive mating ritual. During courtship, the male circles the female and repeatedly bites her head, causing small wounds. He then rubs a specialized gland under his chin, called the mental gland, over these wounds. This gland secretes pheromones, and by applying them directly to the female's bloodstream through the broken skin, the male increases the chances of successfully initiating mating. This strategy is believed to chemically sedate or influence the female, making her more receptive to mating. Fact 23. Ring theory. Ring theory is a psychological model that essentially serves as an instruction guide for who you are allowed to trauma dump on. Here's how it works. Imagine a target or bullseye with rings. The person at the center is the one going through the crisis, for example, someone with cancer. The next ring out is their closest loved ones, such as a partner or children. Each larger ring represents people less emotionally affected, like friends, co-workers, neighbors, and so on. The rule is, comfort in, dump out. You comfort those closer to the center, and you express your own frustrations only to people in outer rings who are less affected. It helps prevent the person suffering the most from also having to comfort others. Fact 24.ai. In 2023, 20% of Anguilla's entire yearly revenue consisted of selling its national domain name .ai. This amount increased to 23% in 2024. Fact 25. Sloth poop. Sloths poop only about once a week. When they do, they descend from the safety of their trees to the ground, which makes them extremely vulnerable to predators like jaguars and eagles. They dig a small hole, do their business, and then cover it up, similar to how a cat uses a litter box. A sloth can lose up to 1/3 of its body weight in a single bathroom trip, which is wild when you think about it. Scientists are still unsure why sloths take this risky trip. Fact 26. Remittances. In 2024, remittances, the practice of a foreign worker sending money back to their families, accounted for approximately 45% of Tajikistan's GDP, the highest rate in the world. Fact 27. Mount Everest. Mount Everest grows in height by about 4 millimeters each year. It lies at the boundary of the Indian and Eurasian tectonic plates. These plates are slowly pushing against each other, a process that causes the Himalayas to rise gradually and results in the uplift of Everest's summit over time. Fact 28. Rue Merdeux. At one point, there was so much human waste in the streets of medieval Paris, they had more than one street named using the French word for feces. Indoor plumbing didn't exist, so people often dumped waste from chamber pots into the streets. Street names often reflected the local trade, geography, or, in this case, the conditions. Fact 29. The Piltdown Man. The Piltdown Man, found by Charles Dawson in Piltdown, England from 1910 to 1912, was thought to be a key human-ape link. For over 40 years, it was widely accepted by many scientists as genuine and was used to support evolutionary theories. In 1953 to 54, it was exposed as a hoax made from a modern human skull, an orangutan jaw, and a chimpanzee tooth. All were intentionally altered, filed down and stained to appear ancient and to fit together as one specimen, deliberately to trick scientists. Fact 30. Formula 1. Weight. Formula One drivers can lose approximately 2 to 3 kilograms or 4.4 to 6.6 pounds of body weight during a race, primarily due to intense sweating. In some extreme conditions, such as the Singapore Grand Prix, drivers have been reported to lose up to 4.5 kilograms or 10 pounds in a single race. Thank you for watching today's video. We hope you found these fascinating facts as intriguing as we did. If you enjoyed this content, please give us a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing facts every week. You won't want to miss it. Until next time, keep discovering one fact at a time.